People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal 3, Fulham 0. Best way to start the season. There's 37 games left. We can't get too excited, but you know, in relation to this game, you can do. We've had our debutants. Everyone who made their debut today played well. Our two main goal scorers in this team scored. You know, everybody played convincingly. Gabriel started a bit shaky and, you know, has had a good game. Holding's had a good game. Maitland's had a good game. Leno's had a good game. We kept a clean sheet. What can I say, people, is, you know, we're always optimistic for the season, and, you know, we might lose against West Ham next week, but on a serious note, it's nice to start the season well. It's nice to be playing in wavy kits, win 3-0, keep a clean sheet, and have to deal with everything next week. There's still a lot to improve on. You know, if at a push, I know statistically we had about 6 shots on target, 15 shots in total. But I did think early on, and I'll get onto it a bit, we didn't test the keeper enough even when we scored. I did think there was a number of balls from Fulham that whistled across our box that if we played another team, like where you have I know he doesn't score that often, but a Firmino or someone that senses that, they dart across the box and score. I think from an Arsenal perspective, the same logic of darting across the box, there was a couple of times I would have liked to have seen a midfield runner or even Lacazette or the forwards kind of gamble a bit. But we did our job. We won 3-0. To a degree, I don't think we had to get out of first gear, really and truly. But it is what it is. I think early on, you know, Fulham, football's a harsh game. I play Sunday League. Last week, we lost 4-1, people. And we deserved that. The goals were all avoidable goals. Stupid goals. And beyond that, we were in the game. We were passing it, having opportunities, getting people forward. But we conceded stupid goals. And I see that with Fulham, you know. It's the Premier League. You can't concede. 2 of the 3 goals that we scored could have been avoided. And you know, you can say the scoreline's harsh. On the same logic, you can say the scoreline reflects what happened. I did feel when Fulham started the game, I would have thought 2 banks of 4. We're kind of on possession and breaking them down. A lot of that was true, but I think they held shape well. I think they pressed well. I think they showed a willingness to get forward. I was impressed with what I saw from Fulham today, really, and what I saw in the initial stages from Fulham. From an Arsenal perspective, what I liked, they tried to press us high. We kept trying to play. I did feel we needed a bit of more ideas in midfield. I feel next week, if we're going to play like this, I want to see our midfield kind of dominate the game a bit more in an attacking sense. That being said, I think Xhaka did well today, and I think El Nene bossed it in respect to what he does. I don't think we shot enough, because even when we scored, I don't remember too many shots. Yeah, we scored. I remember Xhaka having a few. I remember Aubameyang having a couple, but that was about it, people. Balls in behind, we've got to do that a bit more quicker. Yeah, we scored some nice goals, but I only remember 2 very good ones. Xhaka clipped it for Aubameyang, and I think he was flagged offside. And Maitland-Niles did one wavy ball. But we did what I needed to do. I want to say big up to Arteta as well, because he quickly saw that let's change this 3 at the back, and we went to a 4-3-3 of sorts, with Maitland kind of doing the wing back and centre mid alternate role. Tierney was still being a centre half when needed, but was pulling out wide. You know, you had several things. Aubameyang was out wide, but when he could, he was trying to be closer to the centre halves. So before I forget, I want to highlight Arteta for that, and it shows his in-game management and things like that. I feel Gabriel started off nervously. I'm sure you all saw when Maitland-Niles played it back to him, and I don't know, again, some of you asked me about communication, and I said football's a universal language. It is, but maybe, you know, if they were on the same page in terms of language barrier, that doesn't happen. That was a bit of a heart in mouth moment, but it didn't happen, and you can imagine the headlines. I think Gabriel started nervy, but then he got into it, man. I think you can see he's still raw. I like that he's aggressive. Couple of times he dived in and vacated his position, but he became a colossus. He's obviously scored. He was playing some decent passes. He was up for it after nervy moments. I think Holding and Bellerin did well. I think Tierney and Maitland-Niles shined today. I think El Nene did his thing. You know, we were struggling, and we were kind of gifted that goal in the 9th minute, really. You know, all I can say is I don't know what Tim Ream is doing, really and truly. I really don't know what he's doing. It's against the run of play. You know, it's a lovely ball from El Nene to play it forward. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but Aubameyang kept it alive and things. It trickled eventually, I feel, to Xhaka. Xhaka kind of miskicked it. I don't know what the Fulham's defender's doing, and it's gone to Willian. Willian, I don't know if he's got a touch on it or not, but he makes himself a nuisance. Lacazette won't score an easier goal, and it's lovely for Lacazette with the amount of speculation over his future. He had a tough season last year. He's got off the mark. He's broke his cherry for this season. You know, you want to score more glamorous goals, but strikers don't care. You can score bangers like Aubameyang, or you can tap it in. You don't get more points for scoring a banger sort of thing. So we've gone 1-0 up inside 9 minutes, and like I said, you know, we've shown that we're going to press well. We've shown that we can knock the ball around more. But I want to see us test this keeper. Even 1-0 up, there was, I'd say, about 20 minutes we didn't really, like, the keeper didn't have anything to do, and the danger for me was, the more, you know, Fulham are playing all right. What I don't want to do is them boys go into half time and Scotty Parker says, F&L boys, I'm not being funny, but for an Arsenal team, we're dominating them. It's only 1-0. We gave them the goal, you know, in which you have seen last season, and teams will come out a bit more resurgence and things like that. And whatnot, people. So I was a bit nervous of that, and as time goes on, like I said, I wanted to see a bit more pressure on that team, a bit more playing in dangerous areas. And there were a couple of moments in the first half we should have probably scored more. There was a couple of opportunities Fulham should have done more. But what I liked from a Fulham perspective, first and foremost, they're having a goal. You've got to have a goal. They weren't respecting us. They weren't conceding all this space and letting us play in front of them. There were incidents that happened, but they weren't allowing it. So there was a lot of positives. So when it's going into half time now, like I'm saying, it's the age-old saying. It's only 1-0. How we start, I'm looking at the first 15 minutes, you know, because things can go two different ways. So when I'm seeing, you know, second half, we've scored early on, we're doing our thing. I think Fulham kind of lost their discipline in the second half. Holding's turned into Ronaldinho and he's doing kick-ups and whatnot, and he's done a good drive and run to earn a corner. And from that, his centre-half partner heads it / shoulders it / handballs it, whatever it goes in. You know, for Gabriel, it's lovely. He's not a striker, so he's not going to live and die by goals. But, you know, he's a young man, and I think early, he's still raw, but I don't think it was an ability thing. I think he was he's probably thinking, oh shit, I'm at Arsenal now, sort of thing. And that kind of played into his nerves. And I think that goal kind of rewards him for sorting out his nerves and playing well. He scores, he makes it 2-0, it gives us a bit of breathing room. But much like going 1-0 ahead, the age-old saying, it's only 2-0. You know, we have to make a decision. Do we press for this first? Do we hold our lead and concede this second and not concede and go out with 2-0? So when we scored our third, the third goal was the only goal I could say from a Fulham perspective. There was nothing you could have done. It's a lovely move. Lacazette and Bellerin did quite well. El Nene's involved in the early stages. I think it's Willian who actually switches it out to Aubameyang. And it's an accustomed goal that we've seen Aubameyang off that left. You know, once he's been given a bit of space, pardon me, he's cutting in and he's putting it in that far corner. And like his striker partner, his strike partner and his good friend Lacazette, he gets off the score, he gets off the mark for the goals and he gets on the score sheet and he does what he needs to do. I think Willian, I forgot to speak about Willian. I think Willian had a very good game. I think defensively he put in a lot of work. I think offensively he did enough, you know. He's involved in a couple of goals. I think he's technically got 2 assists. Like I said, I think Gabriel reacted quite well. It's a decent game, people. What can I say? We managed the game well. We had more shots. I feel Maitland-Niles was quality. You know, it's only Fulham, with all due respect to them. I'm trying to be respectful. You know, it's not the hardest opposition we'll face. There are some things we can do better. To a degree, you can only play what's in front of you. And what can I say? We've got 3 points, we've got 3 goals, we've got a clean sheet. There's been good individual performances. The whole team played well. You struggle to find a man of the match, you know. For me, it's probably Willian, but then you could legitly say it's El Nene. You could legitly say it's Lacazette. You could legitly say it's Aubameyang. You could even give Gabriel and Holding their dues. Do you get it? Tierney the same. Do you get it? And this is what you need. You need good problems. I'm having a hard time picking the man of the match, and like I said, it's Fulham. You want to see us do this in bigger games, with all due respect, but you can only play what's in front of you. We move on to West Ham. That's another game you'd like to see us win. Confirm 3 points. Let's get 6 points on the board, because after that we've got a difficult game against Liverpool at Anfield, I believe. On that note, though, I've got nothing more to add, people. It's always a pleasure. Please comment your own opinions. Please like. Please subscribe. Please check out my what's the thing called, the description page, because I need you lot to vote for me for the Football Blacklist Awards. It takes 30 seconds, people, and it's appreciated. So if you have done that, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for the consistent support. Thank you very much for all your donations. Thank you very much for just wasting your time messing with my content. It really means a lot. I'm gonna get out of here though. DG.